Hello everyone. You probably won't see this until this evening, but I'm on my way, I can talk. I'm on my way to Camel City Barbecue in Winston-Salem. The weather is quite nautical. Going through a bunch of thunderstorms to get there. What a morning. I woke up and my left knee, I have no idea what I did to it. Zero clue, but my left knee didn't want to bend, and I'm talking excruciating pain. If I twist it a certain way, it kills. If I put too much weight on my toes, it hurts. Walking is a real chore. So I got a knee brace on it. I got good Motrin in me, and I'm making my way through. And the reason why is because I promised my young teammate Levi Rakowski that I would be there for his super match today, and I would coach him if he needed it. And you know, a lot of my team, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to make it, because I hear that a lot of people are getting sick, which I hope that you guys all get better real soon. But you know, kids are sick and wives are sick and people are sick, and obviously we don't want to spread that, especially in a post-COVID world. But we also, you know, just want to be responsible and just not spread sickness if we can help it. But Damian Schlosser is putting on this event. Today is a very important day in North Carolina. Well, actually Carolina arm wrestling. You know, you've got the battle for the #1 open weight today between Shane Owens and Paul Walter. Paul Walter being the current #1 in the Carolinas, the king of the Carolinas, so as it may be. That the crown might change hands today, it might not. I still think Paul's the favorite. Paul's had that crown for a very, very long time. I know Shane is very hungry. But you got E.T., the arm wrestling whisperer out of California. He made the trip all the way here. He's going to be there pulling a super match. Obviously, my boy Levi Rakowski is going to be pulling a super match against JJ Bailey, I believe his name is. It's going to be a tough, I was going to say a tall order because JJ's so damn tall, but it's going to be a tough ask for young Levi. JJ's got all the leverage. He's got more size than Levi. He's got more experience than Levi. I don't think he's ever pulled a super match before, whereas Levi has, but he's pulled a lot of tournaments. He's pulled against some very high-ranked guys. So, I mean, you know, and he's just got a lot more life experience. That goes a long way. So, you know, it's a big ask. I still think Levi's the favorite just because, well, I'm biased. I mean, he's on my team, and I felt his horsepower. I know where I stand, at least I think I do. And I know what he's got, and he's got a lot. We'll see where it goes, but I'm pretty excited about today. And like I said, I'm still about, I don't know, 45 minutes out, and making our way here. But I wanted to touch on a couple of things besides this, the fact that it's such an awesome event, and you know, people like Damian Schlosser and Nick Johnson are just so important for especially local arm wrestling here in the Carolinas. Both of them are not afraid to throw their hat in the ring as far as promotions go, and they put on great shows. They work their asses off to make sure that the shows get done right, and we should always show them support and love whenever possible, because they are doing great work for the local arm wrestling community. With that said, I wanted to touch on a couple of things about the arm wrestling community. And I saw a post yesterday, and I got involved in a discussion back and forth with this gentleman, and I'm not going to mention names, but it was on I want to say it was on arm wrestling training, or maybe even professional handholders, I'm not sure. But you know, it was very arrogant of a post. You know, it said, if you don't have a decade or more in the sport, you shouldn't be putting up any type of tutorial videos or any type of instructional videos. All right, so I agree and disagree. I agree that you should not be coming at it as a some sort of guru or expert on the sport or anything like that. If you're arrogant and you think that you have nothing to learn, or that you've learned a lot, and you don't have that much more to learn, and you've only been pulling for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, then you've still got a lot to learn. There's people that are out there pulling 20, 30 years that still learn something every time they get on the table, as you should. But the reason why I disagree is, again, maybe it's just bias, but like somebody like me, I have a YouTube channel, which you're watching right now, that, I don't ever sit there and say I'm some sort of expert or I'm some sort of guru or anything like that. What I show you is I am a newbie with 2 years, a little over 2 years experience in arm wrestling, and these are my triumphs. This is what works for me. This is what doesn't work for me. These are my setbacks. What kind of diet am I on? What exercises do I use? I'm also 43 years old. I'm trying to lose weight at the same time as gain muscle. So there's a lot of very niche things that I do that maybe somebody doesn't, and I show you that. And, one of the comments that was made was, well, you're just confusing people because you're going to change your mind along the way. And, I thought about that, and on the face of it, I was like, you're right. But then I thought about it, well, like, all right, let's take my favorite arm wrestler, Devin Larratt. If you are brand new to arm wrestling right now, almost certainly you're going to end up on Devin's channel. And what are you going to see? You're going to see the top. Rise and roll. Rise, high ground, roll. That's all you're going to see. If you're not smart enough or not diligent enough to do the homework, you may never know that Devin has a world-class hook, that Devin has really good side pressure, that Devin has, a fantastic press. You may never know that. You also may never know that he's done all the different trainings. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's done all the different training techniques and styles and regimes and programs and all of it. You may never know that, right? But what I was getting out of it is, he's been pulling for 30 years, and he's changed his mind several times along the course of his career, along the course of even the last 3 years, 4 years. So I don't think changing your mind is necessarily a bad thing, and I don't think that having people come along for that journey is necessarily a bad thing. You have to understand that the training that's out there is basically generalized training for the most part, okay? You're not going to find even two elites that basically tell you the exact same thing. You look at, I'll take four. Todd Hutchings, Travis Bagent, Michael Todd, Devin Larratt. Okay? Devin is all about rising and rolling. Todd Hutchings is all about West Side Barbell. So you've got your max effort day, your speed day, and your volume day. He's also all about side pressure. You've got Monster Michael Todd, who's basically all about powerlifting and bodybuilding and stuff like that, with some arm wrestling thrown in there. Because if you look at his training, it's not very arm wrestling specific. You've got wrist rolls, you've got some art arm work and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's very bicep intense, back intense, pec intense. So I mean, it's a lot of powerlifting with some arm wrestling thrown in it. And Travis Bagent, who, yes, I know is not really relevant anymore, but Travis Bagent, who was all arm wrestling specific, but it was completely different. It was about making your hand a fist and holding on as tight as you can and exploding sideways in a top roll. So even with the elites out there, the reason why you're not going to find the same training for all of them, or even two of them, is the fact that they have honed the basics of the training into what works for them. They have whittled it down to what works for them the most. Devin has whittled down all of his training, all of his years of hook training and heavy bicep stuff and backs and back workouts and pronation and rise to just rise and pronation. Why is that? Well, a couple of reasons. His hand is dominant. His hand is super, super strong. He's also 6'6", has a really big hand, has really long levers. Not only that, but he also had elbow stability problems that forced him into more of an outside style game. So a lot of people don't understand that you can gain height by rolling your hand out. Everybody thinks the height has to be, fought for and won here. It doesn't. You can give away side and shoulder position to gain height in your hand. Stuff like that. So for him, that is 100% what works. Todd Hutchings is all about side pressure. Why? Because his elbow fucking holds it. And he's shorter, and it's what works. Monster Michael Todd has developed what he has because of his elbow and shortcomings and limitations and all of that. He can't maintain center table strength, so he's got that outside King's move. So he gets everything else as strong as possible to support that. Everybody has their niche. Everybody. Even John Brzenk and the way he trains. Even back in the day when he was in his prime, where, he trained until failure in a certain thing and then continued to do it, like would take a rest and then come back on and do it again. Everybody has their own thing, but what everybody will tell you is train the fundamentals. Cup, rise, roll, roll. Those are your fundamentals. Make sure that you have good back pressure to support that. Make sure your lats are strong, your biceps are strong, but your hand and wrist. Cup, rise, roll. Okay? Either rolling in or rolling out. And by the way, the term hook is because your hand looks like a hook when you go into one. You can have a high hook, you can have a low hook, you can have anything in between, a drag hook, a sweeping hook, anything in between. And just to set the record straight, you need pronation. In a hook, a top roll, it doesn't matter, in order for you not to get turned up like this. And I got news for you. If you're pulling like this, you're pulling wrong. I'm not saying you can't defend from there or fight back from there, but you have lost pretty much all of your fundamentals if you are turned up like this. So you've done something wrong, or the opponent was just that much stronger than you. This is not a position that anybody wants to be in. Okay? So if I see somebody posting a video talking about, oh, well, this is a hook because, okay, you've still got cup, but you're completely palm up. Now, if you had pronation to go with it, it would look a whole lot better. Okay? The more fundamentals you have or can maintain, the better off you are. That's just simple facts. So what I would suggest is this. Learn from everybody you can, because even somebody like me that's got 2 years in, I study the game extremely intensely. Okay? I have a lot of knowledge. My knowledge surpasses my skill by far. Okay? By far. There are people out there with 1 year in that have just as much, if not more, knowledge than me. And obviously, 10 years in, 12 years in, 20 years in, of course they're going to have knowledge. So my thing is this. Never be too arrogant to learn from anyone. Never. Okay? Always be willing to learn. Because the day that you're not willing to learn anymore, you might as well just stop whatever you're doing. Whatever it is. If it's driving on a racetrack, if it's arm wrestling, if it's football, if it's basketball, if it's chess, if whatever you're doing in life, if you're not willing to learn every single time you do it from everyone you meet, then you're cheating yourself, and you're cheating yourself through arrogance. And I'm not saying that you will learn something every single time or through everyone you meet. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is give it a chance and be open to the fact that it can happen. Okay? Be open to the fact that you want it to happen. And that's how you succeed. That's how you have the best chance of succeeding. Because yes, somebody with 2 years experience can absolutely teach somebody with 10 or 12 years experience, because it's still fresh eyes. And if that person knows what they're doing and knows what they're talking about, they can absolutely help out. And obviously vice versa. Fresh eyes is always the key. And again, if you have somebody that studies the sport like I do, my skill on the table really means nothing, because I'm still building up my skill as far as my tendon strength and how to build up the neural pathways and everything else that comes with just time. You can't do anything about it. It just comes with time. So like I said, don't cheat yourself out of the potential of learning something. Okay? Don't do that. Always be open to the fact that you can learn from everyone and every single time you put your elbow on the table. All right, guys, I'm heading to this event. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all the new subscribers. I appreciate the views. I've been killing it lately. That's because of all of you. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. And hopefully I'll be able to record something at the Camel City Classic. But if not, and even if you're watching this afterwards, excuse me, Camel City Barbecue. And even if you're watching this after the event, you have no idea what I'm talking about, go look at Chance Shaw's channel. Chance Shaw, you should know who he is. If you're looking at me, you should know who Chance Shaw is. Go look up his YouTube channel. It's going to be live streamed on his channel. So even if you're seeing this afterwards, go back to his channel and look at the live stream from today, and you'll be able to see it. Anyway, take it easy, guys, and I hope you have a blessed one. Bye.